Good morning. Hey, JB, how are you? Thank you for joining. Welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Naughty, bring you the latest and trending topics, and I vlog my life. We have so much to get into. So much to get into. I was just really thinking and watching all the commentators, especially Voodoo Doll. Shout out to her and stuff like that. You know, this whole Diddy arrest is part of a big of a agenda, if you ask me, being that we're in a political year. And I just really feel like this is a distraction. This is a distraction to deflect from what's really going on in the government and politics. In my opinion, I feel like Trump is behind this. I feel like MAGA is behind this. I'll say it like this. It's all a part of political agenda. And I take you back to Jonathan Odie, his interview. And we're going to start the show with that. Please thumbs up the video. We're going to start the show with that. And then we're going to go from there. It's all too convenient that all of this is coming out. Good morning. Good morning. But I really, really believe in my heart of hearts, there's a bigger agenda here. Now, Jonathan Odie came out about, I want to say 3 to 5 years before Cassie and laid this all out. Now, he went up in one of Trump's hotels down in Florida and blickied it up for YouTube. He used the PayPal and, all right, and he talked about a lot of things in that interview. He brought up Hillary Clinton, which, remember Diddy, right? Where is he now? I'll look that up in a few. But Jonathan Odie laid it out, and I hope Odie is still alive. From the looks of things, from when we last checked, I believe he's in protective custody. Please thumbs up this video. I believe he's in protective custody. There's a reason why he chose Trump's hotel, okay? But this is bigger than Diddy. This is bigger than Diddy. Notice all these CEOs of the music companies are stepping down. There's a reason. There's a reason, season for all it is. This is all calculated. And who has the biggest agenda? Who has the biggest motive for all of this? Who wants the presidency so bad so that they can stay out of prison? Y'all let me know in the comments, Naughty Crew. Good morning, nephew. Who has the biggest motive? They've been trying to take down the. Hey everybody, they've been trying to take down this ex trafficking ring for the longest and they have not been successful. Why? Because the powers that be wants it to remain in fruition. Why? Because it's a $1 billion industry. Too many people are making money off of it. Too many people are making money off of it. But I find this all too convenient, especially with the latest attempt on Trump's life, which I felt like the first one was staged, and I feel like the second one was staged as well. That man wants the presidency so bad so that he can stay out of prison. Thumbs up this video. We're about to get deep. Naughty Crew. We also going to get into Kim Porter's diary, the breakdown. Everybody was talking about a book. Where's Jonathan Odie? Okay. We gonna get into it, y'all, Knotty Crew. Where is that video? Don't tell me they took it down. I'm telling you, the government is in on all of this shit. They in on it. They in on it. By any means necessary. Who has the biggest motive? Come on, Diddy's been playing in plain sight in our faces for years. And we're going to get into some examples. He's been in our faces, plain sight for years, right? Now, all of a sudden, here we go. Now, all of a sudden, it's dire need this year that they got to get him, right? That's all too suspicious for me. But I'm going to start the show. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Let's start off with Jonathan Odie's interview, his interrogation video. So many people were named, and a lot of people want to say, oh, he's crazy and discount him. But look how many things have come to fruition. Look how many things that we dismissed in the past because somebody was crazy. All these ODs with the celebrities and things like that. There is a meaning. This is what they want us to think. Like, oh, they're crazy. They want us to dismiss these things. Let's get into it. Jonathan Odie, all right? And then from there, we're going to check to see what's going on with him in prison. Because he still never, hey, Couture Bay. He still never got sentenced or anything. It's just been pushed off, right? That's what we saw. And from that, I drew the conclusion, like, he's in some type of protective custody. For those of you don't know the background, Jonathan Odie was Diddy and Cassie's ex-slave, okay? What he did down in Florida was went and blickied up one of Trump's hotels, got blickied himself. They arrested him, and in the interrogation, he revealed so much. He laid out the roadmap for the Illuminati, everything, okay? The political agendas and everything. Even brought up the Obamas and stuff like that. Because I was on Voodoo Channel yesterday, and I was like, you know what? She was connecting the dots and stuff like that, or whatever. Remember, Diddy was a part of that whole vote or die. Right? Him and Hillary Clinton. She's talking about why young people need to vote. They use Diddy as part of that agenda to connect with the hip-hop community and people of color. There's a reason behind everything. So let's get into this interrogation. Shout out to Gossip in the City. I'm using her footage because it's just easier to get to. Let's get into Jonathan Odie. Pay close attention.
Part of what's called the boule.
The boule.
The boule is
thumbs up this video.
Okay. It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not racist. Okay, you my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was
Okay, right, Veronica. He was doing anything because what happened was he contracted the herp from Diddy, sued Diddy, was successful, and then from there, like Diddy does, the same thing in the Tanya Rubin situation. A leopard never changes his spot. Once he settles, he then starts to harass you. He starts to use retaliation tactics because he mad because he had to pay. And then he don't want to be exposed too. So he wants to keep his image pristine. Keep that in mind, okay? This is a pattern of behavior. And this is why he does not deserve to be out on bail. Now, the U.S. attorneys uncovered how he has been trying to coerce witnesses, trying to intimidate witnesses. They came out with examples yesterday in front of the judge with enough evidence where the judge was like, oh, no, he cannot come out. He's definitely a threat. But this is not the first time. He did the same thing in the 1999 shooting with Shine. Look, I'm going to just use my language. Please donate to the channel. YouTube does not like this content. Donate to the channel. The free way to support the channel is to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But a leopard never changes his spots. And Diddy, he still continued with the same pattern. He just got better at it through the years. Just like Sylvester Kelly, okay? Instead of going with underage girls, he started waiting until, like, oh, they're 17 and about to turn 18, and then he'd snatch them, okay? And let's not forget the parents that had something to do with that, but that's a story for another day or whatever, because they delivered them kids to that predator. They knew what they was doing, okay? It was all about the bag, and they sold their children. Look, it's a thing. It's a thing that goes on. All right, let's get into Odie. I'm going to shut up, but I just wanted to highlight those parallels, okay? Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule.
The Boule.
The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati. Okay. And it's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was she took care of me. Right. So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5, okay?
Hillary Rodman.
I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes, and I won. But they did. Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy. Gotcha. It's possible, I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead to war style?
Okay? Just in that, he mentioned Rick Ross. He mentioned DJ Khaled. He mentioned the DRUGS trafficking, the SEX trafficking, how they use the yachts and the boats, the yachts and the private jets to transport everything. It's a bigger agenda, okay? They want to take Trump down. That's what he said in this interview. They want to take Trump down. Even Walk with the Ancestors, when she got in touch with Kim Porter and was in tune with Kim Porter, at the end of that recording, she said, y'all done pissed Trump off. Y'all keep messing with that man. I remember that. You're going to have to check out Walk with the Ancestors. When she did the reading and she got in touch with Kim Porter and she was basically giving her intuition on what's going to happen with Sean Diddy Combs. It wasn't just Sloan Bella speaking about it. It was also Walk with the Ancestors. But why all of a sudden this year is a dire need, right? To take Diddy down. Who has the biggest motive? I'll take you to this because, as you all know, there was a recent attempt on Donald Trump's life once again, right? And I find this all too convenient. The polls are close. Okay, he's been saying it's unfair. They stole the election from him. They're going to steal it again. But I came across this clear woman speaking about Diddy getting arrested. A clear woman, okay? Shout out to the Neighborhood Talks for capturing this. News anchor Amber Marin. That's her name.
Mayorkas. I don't know.
Her name is news anchor Maria Barteromo. Excuse me if I'm saying it wrong. She said it out her mouth. When the clear people are coming out and saying it, you know it's a problem. Let's get into it, Knotty Curl.
I don't know why more people are not talking about Alejandro Mayorkas. He is overseeing all of this. Not only did he oversee 10 million illegals coming into this country, but he also oversees the Secret Service, and you haven't heard peep from him. And don't you find it ironic, Miranda, that once again they take that same strategy out, and that is change the conversation. Okay, the timing of the P. Diddy arrest, please. They must have had the P. Diddy arrest on the shelf, waiting to take it off the shelf for when they needed it. And yesterday, boy, oh boy, did they need it, because the questions were spiking everywhere as far as how it is possible that another assassination attempt happened, that another would-be assassin was within a couple of 100 yards of President Trump. As we're all asking these questions, boom, they take P. Diddy in. And now we're all talking about that. Take it off the front page. This strategy over and over again. I saw right through it as soon as it happened.
Gosh, I hadn't even thought of that, but you're absolutely right. It's typical of how they manipulate the narrative very well. And look,
there's an agenda here. There's a bigger agenda here, and it's all too convenient because Diddy has been playing in our face for the past 30 years. They knew what Diddy did. Everyone knew what Diddy did. They ignored it. Why? Because he was helping their agenda. He was making people money. So as long as you're making people money and things like that, it's all good. But he pissed off the elites by suing the spirits company. He pissed them off. Oh, you want to play? He had been pissing people off for a long time because Diddy has a huge ego. But it's a part of a bigger agenda, people. Pay attention. And I would drive, please vote. Make sure you vote. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. Make sure you vote. These things are all a distraction, although Diddy needed to be taken down, but they allowed this man to get away with this for the longest. They were participants. Trump was pictured and known to hang out with Epstein. He's on the flight logs. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's a bigger agenda. Pay attention, people. Because all of this is to distract us, Now the mugshot of the man that attempted to assassinate Donald Trump is being released. The last guy was a sacrificial lamb because they unalived him. But they don't care. There's an agenda. Even Trump brought it up in the last debate. Oh, I took a bullet to the head. You kidding me? You kidding me? They been knew what Sean, Puffy, Diddy. They been knew what he was into. And I don't care what nobody say. Okay? But this is part of a bigger agenda. But when you got the clear people out here saying this is nothing but a distraction, this is what they do. We're in a political year. And who wants that seat more than anyone? Trump. Come on now. They've been talking about for years what Diddy's been up to. Look, this Pimp C talking about Diddy. Shout out to the Jasmine brand.
Niggas out there think this shit is cool, but it ain't cool. Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes, pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you niggas out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. Nigga, if you in a room naked with some other niggas and some broad, them niggas looking at your ass. And if that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit. Me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never pulling no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting it paper. You know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, bun, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi shit out here, man. You know what I'm saying? These niggas, they flip-floppy, they pitching and they catching with these boys, and they doing all this. So, and if you gay, that's cool, but be gay and come on out and be that. Don't be in front of us and act like a straight-up G, and then you get over here and you letting these boys bust up your back. But, you know, it gonna come to the light. And yeah, I want to put that out there, man. This man ain't never seen me naked. I ain't never seen him naked. We don't desire to do no shit like that. We ain't going out like that. And we were wild young teenagers.
All right, Couture Bay said he was talking about T.I., okay? But it's been out here what Diddy has been doing and what his agenda is and what he's up to. It wasn't no secret, but people were scared of his power. He was powerful. He was powerful. To the point, he got so egotistical. Shout out to AT2. He even named a cologne after a freak off called 3 a.m. Ciao. Now, I seen that video. It scared me. It scared me. I can't even show it. All of it. And so when I was watching it, I was like, Cassie looks scared. So basically,
families are very, very complicated, right? And this situation with Rich Homie Kwan, rest in peace, Kwan. To me, there are some similarities here. We were talking about...
I don't know where that came from. But in this video, he is like chasing Cassie down. Look at this. This is him acting out a freak off. I can't show all of it because she's like naked in some of it. Him choking her out. He's choking her out. It's nothing sexy about this video, but that's how brazen. He's sick, okay? And you know what that reminded me of? When him and Keisha Cole performed at the 2023 VMAs, right? And remember that whole speech he gave. Remember this? I remember him. That's a thing for him. He like putting his hands around women's necks. He likes that whole choking thing. Woo! Plain sight. He been in plain sight. Here, video of him grooming Cassie for the freak offs. This is young Cassie. Remember her lawsuit. He always liked the room to be red. Look at her. He trying to get her used to it. It's all a part of a bigger agenda, people. They been knew what Sean Diddy Combs was up to. They been knew what type of abuse he was into. 50 Cent spoke about it.
I know, check this out, on the up and up, the fuck, but he called, we should kick it on telephone and after the main. Right. And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they send me the girl pictures, like pictures of the girl, like, not the this job saw. Worse, way worse. Wow. Are you kidding me, huh?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Phil.
all that. And I called the nigga. I said, yo, you this girl? Like, you really, like, you like her like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm going to send you something. You look at it, you call me back. I sent him the photos, the pictures and everything. And the nigga called back and was like, yo, thanks, man. Yo, I really appreciate that. So where you get these shit from? And I said, you know, like, 'cause they know, like, if something crazy is going on, if they send it to me, I'll make sure it get out there, like, as far as this video.com is concerned.
Yeah.
And on other properties. So they sent it to me. You know, I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
So I'm not going to go with what the picture's about. They are what they are. Mm-hmm. What, like, clearly, I guess the thing I want to know is who. I was told they were leaked. True or false?
True.
Not by you, right?
Not by me. Definitely not by me.
Do you know who did it, or do you have an idea?
We're closer to an idea of who did it. Yeah, it's being somewhat investigated. I don't even know if I'm really supposed to talk about it like that.
Right.
But yeah, I think we're close to finding out who it was.
It's been out there. It's a part of a whole agenda. Like that clear woman said, like, how convenient. All of a sudden, they been knew what Diddy was up to. Diddy been under investigation several times, okay? This is not his first FBI investigation. They were investigating him back in the days of Usher, too. But what does he do? He pays people off. That's why they are holding him with no bail right now. Because he loves to tamper with witnesses. His patterns of behaviors have been out here. And let's not mention all the CEOs that are stepping down. All of a sudden, all these CEOs are stepping down from the music. Yo, the music industry is over. It's about to be a lot of people exposed. And they shaking in their boots. They shaking in their boots. President and CEO of Warner Music Japan is resigning. Shout out to Spiritual World. CEO of Sony Music Nashville resigning. What's the other one that resigned the other day? What's his name? Kevin Lyles. Y'all think it's all too convenient? All these people are stepping down. Why? Because Diddy probably got tapes on all of them. Diddy probably have tapes on all of them. And all they skeletons about to come out the closet. They've been putting pressure. Marsha Blackburn has been putting pressure on the Senate to release that Jeffrey Epstein list. Look, remember, everybody was waiting and nothing never got released. They had to do something. They had to do something to absolve that. So that's why they taking down Diddy. So shout out to Spiritual World. Kaz Kabayashi to step down as president and CEO of Warner Music Japan. September 18, 2024. Respected industry veteran. He's preparing to step down as president and CEO. Warner Music Japan later this year after serving in the role for the last 10 years. Don't y'all think they doing that on purpose? You wouldn't want to retire at this point? It's crazy. They've been knowing what the Diddler's been up to. But because it's a political year, they got to make it seem like they doing something. It's just kind of like in New Jersey. Whenever it's an election year, all of a sudden, they start ripping up all the roads and fixing all the roads that have been broken and tearing up people's cars for years. All of a sudden, they're fixing the roads. That's what they're doing. They fixing up all the potholes right now. And who has the biggest motive? I ask you, Knotty Crew. Who wants that presidency so bad? I pose the question. This is all evil. But when a clear woman coming out and saying it out of her own mouth, okay? Natalia Rubin, who has been saying Diddy for years, was the one that blickied her in the face in that shooting. We're going to get into Kim Porter's diary. It revealed some interesting things. So Natalia Rubin shared in a recent interview that her daughter Nirvana informed her on Monday about Diddy's arrest by federal authorities, as we previously shared. He now faces 3 serious charges: ex-trafficking through force, racketeering, conspiracy, transporting for the purposes of prostitution. She reportedly said that to the Daily Beast on Wednesday, I asked her if it was somebody locally in town that we know, as she likes. She said, no, he's bigger. But when he was arrested, she screamed out, "Thank you, merciful Father." If you remember, she was part of the December 1999 shooting. And Shine actually he went down for the whole thing. All right. So that leads me into my next commentary. Let me pull up this video. Allegedly Kim Porter's diary was leaked, okay? Shout out to Matthew Cox, Inside True Crime. This commercial. He broke this all the way down.
In a safe. She goes to his house, gets the stuff from the safe, and at that point, she says, if anything happens to her, the book will be released along with the tapes. But what I got for you today, my friend, you're getting a treat here. You're getting a scoop that nobody has got. I mentioned this on one reel, and it was my most played reel on my entire Instagram. Over 100-something thousand plays, which for me is pretty big. Like, that's a lot more than normal. I'll kind of precurse this, so I'm not going to give the names of how I come into contact with this book, but anybody that knows anything about the Diddy situation, he had a longtime girlfriend, Kim Porter. Now, he had a few kids with her. They had a long-running relationship, and then they did separate. Now, it's been long rumored that she was writing like a diary. I don't necessarily know if I would call it a book, but a diary of events that took place throughout the relationship. Good morning, Tara. And then she mysteriously passed away due to pneumonia. As I was saying, it's been long rumored that she was writing a tell-all book, or at least a memoir, detailing her tumultuous life with P. Diddy and some of his extracurricular activities. I read it. I was actually out of town, so I took it with me, and I'm reading it on the plane. And it's not a lot, which tends to put a little bit of validity towards it. Was like her memoirs. It wasn't actually a full-blown book. This is not a 300-page book by any means. It more or less looked like a diary that was kind of put together in sequential order.
Thank you, Tara.
And it was about 45 pages long, and I read it, and I'm just like, wow. And now I grew up. P. Diddy was hot when I grew up. Like Bad Boy was hot. Tupac. I mean, those two were the top in the game. Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. So Puff Daddy was in the limelight everywhere. And he, stayed there for a good deal of time. And then he branched out and done other things with Ciroc and Sean John. So it's not somebody that I was completely, unaware of. But the things that were talked about in that book, I was just like, there's no way. There's no way he done all this. And we're going to talk about a few things in there, because now, like, the more time has went by, I read this book in April. Yeah.
Hold on, let's see. The Southern District of New York would beg to differ.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That a lot more, that book, that diary that you read is looking more and more credible now.
Yes, it definitely is more and more credible. And this is just one woman's accounts as
period, which I think is going to bring this whole thing full circle. I've heard Tasha K say she had her hands on it, on her app and things like that. This memoir, diary, book, whatever you want to call it, it's circulating and it's getting out there.
When we get into the, all the charges against him, there's multiple women, multiple crimes, multiple things that's going on that he's getting charged with. Very serious stuff. And this is just one account, one lady. Now, and I'm going to just talk about a few of the things from this book, because there's a lot of stuff in there. Some very prominent people in the music business are named. I'm not going to talk about every single one, but just a few of them. She says when she first meets Diddy that they, of course, began at some point in time to engage in some activity. And which is fine. I mean, by God, go right ahead. Yeah.
He's not shy, that's for sure.
No, because what his idea of a good time is he wants her to use extra large toys and different things on him to the point to where he's, bleeding. It seems a little painful to me. I don't.
Okay, I referenced the butt plugs that Gene Deal witnessed him by. Okay, also the dildo. Remember the party that Kevin Hart was hosting? Okay, and he was by Diddy's bed, and it was a big old dildo on the bed, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm not going through the bed." The same one when Diddy admitted to playing in the bed and wrestling with Usher over cereal when he was underage. Yes, okay? So pegging is a thing. He liked Kim Porter to peg him. Even Kim Porter's sister said he liked that, okay?
I wouldn't consider that what I would.
Thumbs up this video.
It's a pleasurable experience, but to him it was. And I think you can get there. I think at a point in time when you have money and stuff like that, I'm not saying I'll ever be there, but I think it's possible. When you have money and you have girls, I think, you probably go to one girl, then two girls, then three girls, then this, then that. I think you eventually have to get to where that really, really, really far out there is what satisfies the regular craving for you. I think that's a thing. My opinion, I could be wrong.
Maybe for the rich.
But I think it is a thing for some people. And she said that she was so weirded out by this experience that she didn't want to talk to him anymore. And obviously she knew who he was. It was Diddy. But, she was just like, this is pretty strange. I'm not going, it's too much. And he pursued her for a while. But they met up at a club. And he was like, I was just kind of a little out there. And I'm sorry. And I'd really like to give it another chance. And, they get back together. And she alludes in there that he had affairs with people like Mary J. Blige, and that she also was having, it was pretty much an open relationship. They were... Okay, so Mary can very well be called as a witness in all of this, Knotty Crew. I told you, Mims, he did an exclusive yesterday, Make It Make Sense. Go over to his channel and subscribe. And there is a tape with Mary on it. And it has been handed over to the FBI. So don't be surprised. That's why they all so quiet. That's why they all so quiet. Because there's a lot of evidence. That's what Diddy, that was his forte. Thank you for the donation. Yes, that was his forte. He would get you on camera, so then he can then turn around and blackmail you with that. And as leverage, he'll get you to work for free, basically. He would threaten your family and things like that. So this is why so many people were scared of the Diddler. Mm-hmm. Both doing their own.
You mean Cheek Mill?
Which is, I think, in Hollywood and that industry is probably pretty common.
Right.
One of the bigger ones was, and this is the short that that I discussed on the show, was the Tupac situation. Now, she claims in this book to have been with Tupac solo at another point in time. Now, before all the bad blood between East Coast, West Coast, and before everybody wanted to, take each other out, all these guys are friends. Now, there's some pictures in this book of people hanging out in the same location, Snoop, Diddy, etc. And a lot of there's a famous, I forget right off where it's at, but Pac and Biggie are together rapping at like some concert. It's a famous concert where they get up there and freestyle. So there was a point in time where they all got along. Mm-hmm. And she said they're at Diddy's home, and they're all hanging out, chilling, and she's like, she's been with Pac solo, and Diddy kind of brings it up like, hey, we've all been with each other, but we've never been with each other together. I've been with Kim, you've been with Kim, but we've never been with Kim together. and almost kind of lays out a
freak off
as to one goes first and sees how long it takes to get Kim to climax.
Right.
And Pac is, according to her words, and I want to make sure people understand this. I'm reading from this book. I'm not saying this is true. I wasn't there. I wasn't hiding in the closet.
These are Kim words.
Around there, okay? I'm going off the book. She says that Pac is immediately like, you know, F that, F this, F that. You know, I'm not feeling that or whatever. And he just like basically cusses Diddy out and leaves. So this sends.
Now there you have it, motive. Because you know how the diddler act when you tell him no. He does not like to hear no. He does not like to hear the word no. And here you have it, the root of the East Coast, West Coast beef. This is why Pac had to go, because he wasn't willing to submit to hashtag no Diddy's demands. Which I think it was a ploy. He really wanted to sleep with Pac. But he was using Kim Porter as the pawn. Disgusting.
Into a little bit of a tizzy. He's obviously upset. I don't know whether he's worried that, you know, Pac could spill the beans on what he's into or what. The next day, she says she walks in on a conversation that was had between Pac and a guy by the name of Jimmy Henchman, and that it was an orchestrated setup for Tupac to be shot, which was the shooting that happened at Quad 6 Studios the first time Pac got shot.
I told y'all yesterday, because a lot of people try to say, oh, it was Haitian Jack that orchestrated that. No, that was Diddy. That was Diddy. How come all these men wanted Pac if he wasn't gay? Quincy Jones too. But you got to understand, Couture Bay, it's about the power. They love the power of turning someone out. You understand? They love the power of overtaking. That's what they're addicted to.
People are going to say, it wasn't Jimmy Henchman, it was this person, or it was that person, or it was Haitian Jack.
You let this commercial play. I just thought this was very interesting. Please thumbs up the video. Share the video.
I'm not saying this was exactly what happened. Again, I'm just reading from this book. Now, if you watch that Tupac and Biggie, I don't know if I actually ever watched the Tupac movie, but I know there was a show, and he is going to the studio in New York, allegedly, big season from the street. They wave him up. As he goes into the lobby, he's basically robbed and shot. Now, in Tupac's mind, he's thinking he was set up to come there. That is really, in a sense, what kind of started this whole beef between Tupac and Biggie, East Coast, West Coast. That event was the catalyst. That was the first domino to fall. Now, Pac obviously didn't die. He got shot and he lived, but after that, things just wasn't the same.
They weren't. From there on out, he was set up in situations. That graping situation that he went to prison for was a setup. Come on now. People, use your logical minds. Diddy wanted him out of there because Pac knew his secret.
To hear this book tell it, that was put into motion by Diddy as a revenge for, I guess, Pac dissing off the situation.
See?
It seems a little extreme to go to that, I'll admit. But once it doesn't happen, once he's not killed, he's like, all right, well, now he's going to be pissed. Now he's going to think it's us.
That will upset you.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where he'd be a little, you know.
Some people shrug it off, but some people take it personal.
I mean, I would. It's personal. It's personal. So now Diddy is kind of like, where do we go from here? And so there's a meeting, and he tells and Big allegedly does not want to do this, but he tells Big to go ahead and drop the track "Who Shot You." This is all in her book. I'm not making this up. This isn't Hollywood's, hip hop fables. This is from the book. Okay. You don't want to believe me, go yell at the author. That's all I can say. That he tells him to go ahead and drop who shot you, because it's almost a poke at Tupac.
It's antagonizing him. But who's the puppet master behind all of this? And Biggie worked for Diddy, so that's his boss. The power dynamic.
I don't know if you're familiar with the song, but it's basically, who shot you kind of says it, But allegedly this was written before that happened. But now when he drops it, immediately it kind of just pours gasoline on the situation. And she says, Puffy's like, well, if he didn't die, he's going to fire back at us. We might as well at least profit financially from this.
Makes sense.
And so that kind of starts that. He drops that. Tupac drops Hit 'Em Up, which was probably one of the greatest diss tracks ever. He talks about being with Faith's wife, or Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, excuse me. Definitely not Faith Hill. Faith Evans. And so that's where all those kind of tracks come into play. Now, Biggie Smalls is a whole nother story in this, because Biggie allegedly was going to leave Bad Boy and go out on his own. Now, since I read that book in March, there's been multiple articles that drop here, there on different internet sources that said Biggie was going to go out on his own. There's been sources that said Biggie and Pop were going to both leave. Biggie was going to leave Bad Boy. Pop was going to leave Death Row.
Right.
They were going to get together and do their own label. That has also been something I've read.
I never heard about them getting together, but I always heard that Pac was ready because he fulfilled his contract with Suge. And Biggie had plans on taking Junior Mafia and doing his own thing. And one of the things he revealed to Gene Dill right before he passed away out in LA was that he wrote a lot of Lil' Kim's rhymes, and he was like, don't tell Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Because that was his way of taking his power back and getting, I guess, his publishing and stuff like that, because Diddy was robbing all his artists. It's known.
That is not in this book, but that's just other things that I've read. Now, Puff says at a party, this is at a party where a lot of prominent, people are supposed to be at, and Kim overhears Puffy say, I'm not going to have his damn back if he's not got my back 100, or something to that effect. And he's like, I can't do it myself, but I'll pull protection if we ever leave New York. Now, if you take that at face value, when they go to California, which is not the place that, your East Coast rappers are very welcome.
Okay, this is months after the Tupac deletion, right? Gene Dill is advising his security at that time, I don't think it's a good idea that we go. But Diddy was insistent.
It is where Big got shot. And if you look into the details of it, Gene Dill,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Here lately, he was the bodyguard. He was with Puff. Nobody was with Biggie. Biggie was taken out. He was shot. I mean, Puff's car was not shot at. So you kind of start to see maybe there is some validity to this. But then I would okay, well, why would you take out your biggest artist? Well, if he knew that Biggie was going to leave, he wasn't going to be his biggest artist anymore.
Right.
And I'm not 100% sure on what happened with all the royalties and
he got them.
The masters and all of that stuff. There's a part in that book that says Valletta Wallace, who was Biggie's mom, came to Puff and was basically asking for some of the money that her son had earned and generated through all the music and everything. And he basically told her, kind of like the whole MC Hammer thing was
yes,
he didn't really make any money. He was in debt. I paid for all the publishing for these records. I paid for this. I paid for that. Really, he owed me money. But if you need a little bit of help, I'll give you some.
Yeah, out of the goodness of my heart.
Yeah, out of the goodness of my heart, I'll give it to you. Because I'll be honest, you haven't heard a ton from Valletta Wallace, good or bad, about whole situation with Puffy. And let's be honest, Diddy, I'm sure it was his friend. I'm sure they had, some sort of bond, but he milked, Biggie's death for everything it was worth.
Right.
And apparently, I'm not sure. I think it is true because Sting said it on the Breakfast Club. He sampled the Police, "I'll Be Missing You" when he sung that song for Biggie. Allegedly, he has to pay Sting
$5,000.
It's like $1,000 or a couple thousand a day for the rights to it. So that's about to run out here real soon.
Because he didn't
Sting
ask
better be
permission.
glad he got what he got because Diddy's about to not be able to pay nothing for a while.
That's what the RICO's all about.
So that's another story that's in this book. There's also a story about, you remember when he dated Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah.
According to Kim, this whole entire relationship between them two was basically a farce for the media. They were together, they would make public appearances, they would appear to be a couple, but in actuality, Kim was still living at his house. And there was an instance, I don't know how much you followed rap back in those days, where you were out in those days, weren't you? Were you in jail?
I was out, but I don't.
I'm not sure the time. This would have been maybe mid-90s.
No, it was
a rapper that come
1999.
out named Shine. Remember him?
No. I would have followed it more.
So after Biggie passed away, this is how diabolical and psychopathic Diddy is. He just lost his biggest artist, right? He then goes and he has another artist come out that sounds just like Biggie. That shit, I always found that shit creepy. Not discrediting Shine and his talent, but I always thought it was creepy. Like, why are you trying to replicate Biggie? And then he set Shine up for the fall. Okay, come on.
They played it on WQIK Country.
Okay, I don't know if that's a lot. There's too many people that can get to them if they decide to change their mind. And I guess to a certain degree, maybe it kind of set her at ease. And according to Kim, before she leaves, he tries to get the three of them together.
Wait, hold on. Let me back it up a little.
The rapper that come out named Shine. Remember him?
No. I would have followed it more if they played it on WQIK Country.
Okay, I don't know if that's a lot.
His partner is like
more of it, but they didn't tend to play those songs.
Yes, he tried to replace Mace with Loon.
Shine on WIK.
Yes, Veronica. He tried to replace Mace with Loon.
K Country. I'm glad there's not another K in there. Otherwise, there's going to be some sniffing around in that radio station. That's
YK, not KK.
Oh, YK. Okay.
Come on.
So Shine come out. I actually love Shine's first rap album. It is up there on like my top 5 of all rap albums. And I love all kinds of music. Shine had a very distinctive voice. He sounded very much like Biggie Smalls.
Hey, Grape Tea.
And he was kind of going to be that guy to revive Bad Boy, to put him back in that gangster rap. Because you could tell a lot of his stuff that he was rapping about was stuff he really did. I mean, he told a story. If you go back to how people would tell stories when they were rap, he was telling stories. I'm not going to say they were true, but they damn sure sounded true. If they weren't his, they were somebody that he knew.
Right.
Because it was pretty detailed. So his startup.
Please thumbs up the video. This is Matthew Cox inside True Crime. He is getting into Kim Porter's diary. I'm going to let him tell this last story, and then I'm going to let you guys go check out his footage.
Ship starting to sail, if you will. And they're all at a nightclub in New York. Jennifer Lopez, Shine, Puff, and there's a shooting that happens. A girl gets shot in the face. I don't think she died. I think she got shot in the face. I don't think anybody died. I don't think. But anyways, they all get in Puffy's SUV and take off. Now, what winds up happening is Shine takes the rap for having the gun and doing the shooting. But everybody immediately says that it was Biggie. Shine gets a pretty substantial prison sentence out of this. I don't know if it was like 10 years or 12 years, but he goes to jail. That's what eventually winds up happening. But before that, like the next day after the shooting, she says, this is Kim talking, J-Lo shows up at the house and is like irate with Puffy, saying that, you know, she's got a career and this is going to cost her career in movies and this, that, and the other. And he tells her to relax, that he's got it all under control. She said, what do you mean you got it under control? And he's like, Shine's going to take the rap for it. He's going to take the bid. Nobody's going to have to do any time. He's going to admit to having the gun. He's going to admit to being the trigger guy. And, you know, we're basically going to skate on this. And she's like, well, what happens if he changes his mind while he's in there? Like if he decides, hey, I'm not going to do all this time. He's like, nobody inside will change their mind. There's too many people that can get to them if they decide to change their mind. And I guess to a certain degree, maybe it kind of set her at ease. And according to Kim, before she leaves, he tries to get the three of them together, to get together. And J-Lo's just like, no, there's too much shit going on. I can't do this. So even in the midst of all this, Puffy's still trying to, you know, get J-Lo and Kim into bed. You know, I guess kudos to him.
Priorities.
Yeah, you got priorities. You got priorities.
So J-Lo is aware.
What shirt do you have on?
J-Lo is aware of the circumstances. Hold on, let me see what James is saying. Please go over to his channel. Who is this? Matthew Cox. Go over to his channel, watch the full interview. He drops a lot of details. What's this?
White man, when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man. It's so unfortunate. You gotta pull back though, so they can see.
Shout out to Tasha K.
Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look, what you put the drink on his head. And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is an actual DJs aren't supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to him.
He bragging.
Next day, right? You put the drink on his head. There you go. There it is.
He bragging. Oops, sorry. Y'all be looking at my messy corner. He bragging. Like I said, it's been out here in plain sight what Diddy has been doing. But this year, it's a political agenda. That's why it was a must for them to lock him up. Because guess who wants the presidency so bad? Don't be surprised if you hear out of Donald Trump's mouth, oh, we're getting a hold of the sex trafficking ring. He'll try to take credit for that. Let me see, Knotty. There's a source out of New York from a former warden inmate. Once Diddy dead. Yes, I did. I covered that yesterday, James. I covered that yesterday about the former warden. They want him dead. Look, Diddy has created a lot of enemies through the years at the end of the day. And this is why the industry in Hollywood is shaking in their boots. But I just remind you, Knotty Crew, there's a bigger agenda here. I just want to encourage everybody to get out here and vote. They want us to be distracted.
For you to be my brother no more.
That's CL Smooth. Oh, academics. His clown ass.
Bro, come on.
He breaks down what Diddy would be eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
this is what breakfast is. So today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, he'll get fruit, cereal, breakfast cake, sugar.
He a clown, but he better pay close attention to that menu because he may be seeing that menu very soon with his lawsuit, okay? Oh my God. Muhammad Al-Fayed, the ex-Harrods owner, whose son died alongside Princess Diana, is accused of multiple rapes. People magazine. All is being revealed, Knotty Crew. Well, he's dead. So I don't know why they're coming out with this now. He's dead. So that's a done deal. But, I mean, why bring it out now? But I wonder who's going to get charged next, Knotty Crew. I wonder who in the boule going to get charged next? Who in the boule gonna get charged next? Because it's bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than the diddler. It really, really is. It's a bigger agenda, and I just wanted to open your eyes to this Knotty crew. Pay attention to what's going on, and I'm gonna replay this clip. When the clear people calling out their own, you know something going on here. Here we go.
Mayorkas. I don't know why more people are not talking about Alejandro Mayorkas. He is overseeing all of this. Not only did he oversee 10 million illegals coming into this country, but he also oversees the Secret Service, and you haven't heard peep from him. And don't you find it ironic, Miranda, that once again they take that same strategy out, and that is change the conversation. Okay, the timing of the P. Diddy arrest, please. They must have had the P. Diddy arrest on the shelf, waiting to take it off the shelf for when they needed it. And yesterday, boy, oh boy, did they need it, because the questions were spiking everywhere as far as how it is possible that another assassination attempt happened, that another would-be assassin was within a couple of 100 yards of President Trump. As we're all asking these questions, boom, they take P. Diddy in. And now we're all talking about that. Take it off the front page. This strategy over and over again. I saw right through it as soon as it happened.
Period. And that's who was plastered all over the front page news yesterday. Look, I went to the store. Daily News. And let me tell you something. Diddy is guilty. In my eyes, he's guilty. He definitely... Diddy. So I'm not trying to disclaim he needed to be taken off the streets, but I'm saying the government, the feds, the cops, the police gave him a 30-year reign, okay? And for those of you who don't think Cassie was a victim, this video tells it all. He was playing in plain sight. He was in our face in plain sight. Right. And so everyone, this is why you're seeing all the CEOs step down. You're going to see a lot more people resigning because they're afraid of what the government has them on tape doing. Look, Diddy, I just showed you a video. Diddy got that white man floored.
An 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than...
This is Shine speaking out. Shout out to Gossip in the City.
Do what all of us want to do. Be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. And he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave. I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I spent a birthday with him on. I saw a birthday cake. Went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the...
And who you took money for your political campaign.
He was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombale This is someone that destroyed my life. But do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
In your at the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through Revolt Media, were you aware of these freak off events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my goodness, Jules Vasquez.
Answer the question.
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of them?
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of the freak offs?
So I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
So now he's speaking out. He did ruin his life. But did you have to take his blood money? Because that's what it was. I don't care if you was raising money for the kids or anything. Hey, AT2. Speaking out. He used Diddy for the money. Right. Okay, got you. That is a perfect perspective. He used them. Just like Diddy uses other people. He used Diddy for the money. Diddy ruined his life. That's an even trade to me. I agree. I stand corrected, AT2. I stand corrected. I'm glad he's speaking out, though. Tiffany Red also spoke out. Tiffany Red posted, she said, today, I feel a little safer knowing Sean Combs is behind bars. I'm grateful to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and Homeland Security for stepping in and showing Mr. Combs and the music industry, which enabled him, that they're not above the law. I agree. This past year has been incredibly stressful and terrifying at times, but I am grateful for the opportunity to free myself from all of these dark experiences. She said, while co-creating Cassie's sophomore album, I was degraded by Sean Combs, deceived by him, his team, and the record label about the music being released. I was exposed to Diddy's abuse of Cassie and others in her circle, and I unknowingly consumed something laced without my consent at his Humbly Hills home studio while writing for Cassie back in 2017. I'll never forget screaming, "What's in this?" I knew instantly after smoking the joint that something was wrong. I got away that night by the grace of God, but I am haunted by the things I can't remember about that evening. No one should have to endure this kind of trauma to pursue success in the music industry. We all deserve better. Tiffany Red. So shout out to her, because Tiffany, I know she said she was suing Diddy, but I think that's what all of this is going to come down to with the federal case. It's going to come down to consent. You are not if you are rugged, you are not capable of giving consent. And I'm hoping that they gathered enough evidence and video footage of seeing people passed out. Tasha K, she just revealed a video of Diddy. Basically, he's been playing in our face in plain sight, just like R. Kelly, just like Epstein. They all did it. It's going to come down to consent. I keep telling people, Diddy's not only addicted to drugs, he's addicted to power and control. He gets off on taking it from a straight man and throwing it in his face. Look, he don't care.
For all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
It's so unfortunate.
You gotta pull back though, so you can see. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look, what you
the drink on his head.
And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is an actual DJ. I'm supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to them. I put him to sleep.
Next day, right?
You put the drink on his head.
Yeah. There it is.
Damn.
I can only imagine what happened to him after that. It's not okay. It's not okay. Knotty Crew, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. There's a bigger agenda here. Diddy definitely deserves to be in prison, and I'm glad they're holding him without bail because he's a psychopath. He's a psychopath, as far as I'm concerned. It is not okay to rug people against their will unknowingly. It's not okay to take sex when people are unable to give consent. But the government, the feds, the police, they have allowed this demon to operate amongst us all these years. And because of that, there are so many victims. That's why the feds have a case. But if you ask me, they're all complicit. There's a bigger agenda because they could have had Diddy. Odie came out years ago. He came out about 3 years before Cassie. Odie said it in his interview. There is a political agenda. They want Trump gone. And I think Trump getting Diddy locked up, that was a power play on his part. Oh, y'all want to play with me? Watch what I'm going to do. I appreciate every last one of you joining me. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I want to hear your thoughts, all right? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're at 2,930 subscribers, so we're right there. We're 70 away from 3,000 subs, so I appreciate every last one of you. Let's leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you, AT2, for your input on Shine, because I'm like, in one hand, I'm like, why'd you take the money from him? You know what I mean? But on another hand, I guess he had to get it the best way he knew how. It was blood money. Thank you, James. Thank you so much. It was blood money. It was blood money. Even like his grown kids, I don't feel bad for them. It's time for y'all to get jobs. Because daddy's money train has run out. That's what the RICO's all about. They're basically saying, like, all your earnings, you got them on ill-begotten will. So we're going to snatch that away from you. So now they got to get out and work. They got to get out and work now. And I hope they I hope King Combs ain't coming out here trying to do music. Because you just as corny as your father. Okay? And I hope the industry blackball you. I don't even think it's going to be an industry left, to be quite honest. That's a story for another day. You see all these CEOs stepping down. I expect to see more. I love you all. Until next time, Knotty Crew, I'm out. 1.